Hello traders, this is Alla Peters, founder of Fibonacci Trading Institute. In this webinar, I will be sharing with you how to use Fibonacci, how Fibonacci can improve your accuracy, no matter what instrument, no matter what time frame. It is absolutely essential and crucial that you review US government required disclaimers and that you never, ever trade with risks you cannot afford. And that you recognize everything you witness in this webinar is for Fibonacci education. You decide how you want to use what you learn in this webinar. So, how in the world did I become so fascinated with Fibonacci? Until 2008, I was a very successful investor. I invested very heavily in stock market based on fundamentals and in real estate. In 2008, I was listening to CNBC, I was listening to Kramer, I was listening and reading Investor Business Daily, Wall Street journals. Fundamentals were everywhere. So what was happening with the market? Why did the stocks that had such spectacular fundamentals were collapsing? In 2008, I hit reset button and I started questioning everything about the markets. I recognized very clearly if fundamentals, if indicators worked, why isn't everyone Warren Buffett? Why isn't everyone being so successful? I realized very clearly that there is a lot more to the story, that there is something much more accurate than fundamentals and delayed indicators will ever be. This is a stock I was holding in 2008. Chesapeake Energy had stunning fundamentals in 2008. So why in the world was Chesapeake Energy crashing? At the end of 2008, I developed first strategy. At the end of 2008, I started recognizing very clearly. Market is flawless Fibonacci puzzle. I recognized very clearly that Fibonacci is the only natural predictive tool in the market that presets markets. And this is all that matters. And this is a method I developed in 2008, method that applies to any instrument, any time frame, price for entry and Fibonacci for exits. Rules-based method that applies to anything that has price. Doesn't matter if it's futures, doesn't matter if it's stocks, doesn't matter if it's options. No matter what you trade has Fibonacci. And that remains the key. This is a tool I developed in 2008. This is a tool that uses traders, from beginner trader to hedge fund trader in US and globally. This is day trading chart from our room, where I demonstrate the method on S&P E-mini. Here is crucial Fibonacci reversal zone on February 14th. Where a bullish rally started last time upon pullback. This is where a bullish rally took off from. All the levels in front of you are proprietary Fibonacci levels. All the levels in front of you apply to any instrument, any time frame, can be installed on any platform. This is the levels that form the market. If you know where Fibonacci reversal zone is, you never short near. You monitor for reversal. Institutional bias forever remain bullish. Exact same strategy you witnessed in front of you, that we've taken advantage once again from this very hot pink support, applies to any instrument. This very hot pink support was present on Apple. When Apple had horrific earnings, worst earnings in 13 years, I said Apple will rally. This is a level you respect. This is a level you recognize, drastically more powerful and more accurate than indicators or fundamentals will ever be. This is where Apple collapsed from in 2015, and this is where Apple is now. If you understand what price is telling you, you do not have sweaty palms. You understand. Right now, Apple is not setting up for reversal like it's done in 2015. And in 2016, you were taking advantage of bullish rally despite worst earnings. Each and every time you witness market is Fibonacci puzzle. Magic happens if you just remove all the indicators and stop blocking the price. This is what I worked with since 2008. This is all that matters. If you remove all the indicators from your chart, you will recognize very clearly. This is all you ever need. You recognize very clearly if I just remove the name from my chart, if I just remove the title, it would not matter what chart this is, because price remains exactly the same on any instrument in any time frame. Pretty please do tell me, what is this? Previous chart was S&P. What chart is this? Why would that matter? It doesn't. Once you master the price, once you know how to apply Fibonacci levels, you can trade any instrument in any time frame. This is oil. Yes, Paul, I see your questions, and as I said, pretty please post your questions after presentation. Price the same everywhere. Manage to understand the price and you master the markets. Learn how to use Fibonacci and understand. Nothing in common between Fibonacci and indicators. Fibonacci is naturally and Fibonacci only predictive tool in the markets. Indicators are delayed. Indicators show you when price already made the move where your entry should have been. Fibonacci present in everything, in nature, in reflection that looking in the mirror, and in price. Fibonacci, if you're using for your long-term positions, showing you days, months, and years in advance where market will be. In day trading, you're using Fibonacci on short-term charts. Indicators would have never told you in 2011 where market is heading to. Website had been opened in 2011. These are the charts that's been present in the trading room for years. This is a bullish rally on S&P that in 2011 bounced from the exact same crucial Fibonacci support. If you browse the YouTube channel, if you browse the blog, you will see this chart present for years. This is where market ended bearish correction in 2014, 2015 and 2016. This is monthly chart, strategy identical to hourly that you can use on oil. This is oil that we will be enjoying immensely tomorrow in the trading room. If you're an oil trader, you know extremely well. Oil had horrific bearish news every single week. Every single one of this is bearish news on oil. So why in the world is oil rallying? Because Fibonacci said so. This is what you use as a day trading guiding light. This is the key levels that will give you drastically more accuracy than delayed indicators will, no matter what instrument, no matter what time frame. Fibonacci natural mathematical sequence. Indicators are artificial. Fibonacci can be used on any platform, any time frame, any instrument. Fibonacci and price action stays with you forever. You decide how you want to use. If you found the indicator that works, It works only on certain platform, on certain time frame, and more than likely every time you have to pay a fee if you buy indicator or if you move to a different platform. Fibonacci is a tool that's present on every platform. I worked with traders on 5 continents. I've never heard of platforms that doesn't have Fibonacci tool. How to use it remains the key. Having a viable strategy is crucial. That's what trading all about. Fibonacci is especially powerful to identify profit targets. Here's a couple of examples, and we can walk down memory lane forever from the screenshots going back years, so you can see where price is now. Here's a couple of examples. Remember S&P at 1800? Wouldn't you like for the market to be there now? That was a crucial support in 2016. Does it look familiar? Crucial resistance to the upside? As I said, price respecting this support, market will rally. This is what S&P had done next. This is where market is now. If you take advantage of S&P, using monthly support at 1800, utilizing reversal zone on weekly. Exact same 1800 number. Every time price comes to crucial support, that will always correlate between multiple time frames. You monitor for reversal. This was key first target. End of minor trend. If you're an options trader or if you invest long term. This is a second target. This is where S&P is heading to next. And this is the levels present in the trading room forever. Remember that? S&P at 2136. Does that look familiar? S&P is already outside of this level, already heading to here. Do you remember Euro at these levels? When Euro was at reversal zone, S&P was at bullish reversal zone, Euro was at bearish reversal zone. As I said, Euro is heading to 3400. Please pay attention. This was crucial, hot pink line, crucial Fibonacci support. Taken Euro, weeks to break through this support. This is what I posted since 2015 about Euro. This is crucial support on Euro. I don't know when Euro will break through this support. All I can tell you, Euro will go into free fall. None of us knew in 2014 or 2015 about Brexit. Brexit propelled pound through this support drastically lower. As pound already broke through this level, pound already at 119. Euro will do that next. Wait for Euro exit. Free fall started from 3800 to the downside on Euro, on S&P to the upside. And that's what price does every time. If you choose to day trade, you're using exact same formula. Fibonacci is the only predictive tool in the market that's especially helpful for accuracy. If you browse the videos on YouTube and on the blog, you will witness on each and every trade the accuracy of these levels that will become extremely profitable if you play by the rules, if you know where to enter, where to exit. Trading Fibonacci without rules, simply not an option. When traders come to me and say, I know Fibonacci, how can you possibly schlep and assume that you can grab Fibonacci any of these tools and use it. I've never in my life used Fibonacci Circle. I hardly ever use any of these extensions. I have no clue how to use this. How can someone speculate and say, I can place Fibonacci without trading viable strategy, without backtesting viable strategy, without having strict set of rules? Fibonacci works if you know the strategy, if you use the rules. If you know exactly where your entry, where your stop and your target is. Fixed stops and fixed targets do not work. Knowing where to enter, knowing where to exit remains the key. In the next few slides, I will show you what I teach every day and what moves the market. None of my students using indicators. All of my students who came to the course been burned by indicators. They know extremely well. Indicators do not work. They know extremely well indicators is an illusion that looks extremely well in the past, not in the future. And that's what's happening in the markets every day. And that's what the chart of one of the students looks like, who've been trying to become a trader for over 20 years, spending a fortune on indicators and software. How can you possibly learn anything about markets? You learn a lot about the indicators, just not about markets. If you're blocking the vision of the price, if you're paying attention to flashing green, pink lights instead of price, when all that matters is price. Absolutely nothing should be blocking your chart. This is the alphabet. This is all that matters. And this is a dance price does every time. And this is what I teach in the course. Fibonacci is a sequence that creates market symmetry. Fibonacci numbers move the markets. These are the numbers that creates the symmetry that repeats itself each and every day. If you add 0 to 1, subsequent number starts creating the symmetry. These are the only numbers that matter. If you're trading any other numbers, you are making a mistake. Other numbers do not matter. These are key minute charts that we trade in day trading room. Knowledgeable traders also know to never ever 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 seriously trade 1, 2, 3 minute charts. 1 minute chart is a fantastic, amazing barometer chart, is an excellent trail chart, not the entry chart. You are only human. If you are succumbing to such short time frame, chancing of you surrendering to trigger happiness extremely high. Knowing what number to use is a key. And this is how market moves. This is a principle that moves the market. And this is a key. This is a core. This is what I was teaching this morning. This is what you start with. Rule number 1. You only trade the end of the first impulse. This rule is non-negotiable. If you will ever break that rule, success is not possible. If you start jumping on bandwagon on wave 2, end of wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, success is not possible. It's that simple. Have you ever tried to acquire position when you think you're jumping on powerful bearish collapse and all of a sudden, oops, happens? That's exactly why. Market moves in three-way formation. Acquiring position as a counter trend 2 and 4, not an option. Staying with that rule is a key. And that's crucial. That's where conservative trader enters a position. Conservative trader acquires position as low as possible, not as high as possible. Here's a day trading chart from our room. Now we are pretty darn high. This point of entry at this Fibonacci support is pretty darn high. This was so much better. Remember that? Here is even better looking chart. Walking down memory lane never gets old. This is from the week before. Crucial Fibonacci support, institutional level, February 8th. Remember 2282 level? This was institutional bullish rally. This was institutional volume. It's looking at you. Buying this high, very different story. Trading a bit painful, and knowing where to exit remains the key. At the end of the webinar, I will show you where you can find the videos from our trading room, as all posted on YouTube. And that's the key method, and that's how price moves each and every time, no matter what you trade. Obeying that formula is crucial. If you will ever choose to trade against the trend, wave 2 and wave 4, success is not possible. Best case scenario, you are always in pain. Utilizing institutional support and institutional resistance levels and realizing where these levels are is a key. So, this is where market is now, at this institutional resistance. This is daily chart, and as you could see very clearly in the course, you learn to never ever use word daily on your chart, especially if you are a day trader. You need every single second in your chart. If your data template is not set up correctly, ouch, is the name of the game. So, this was my favorite event of 2016. Remember that? Night of the election? Breathtaking. As we discussed with students well before the election, it did not matter who will win. Fibonacci reversal zone in front of you, your bias is bullish. What happened next, none of us knew. That the volume we will witness on that night was the volume we had not seen since 2009. This is a rally of the century, traders. And it's in a progress, except it's taken a bit of a pause when it came to that hot pink level, when it danced in that corrective fluff. If you are an options trader, or if you are trading long term. So this is your support and this is your resistance now. Next, price heading to here. Hold time, a couple of days, a couple of weeks. This chart I don't like as much as I like weekly, as weekly has a whole lot less noise than this daily chart. And this is a formula that repeats itself every time, no matter what you trade. No matter if it's Nasdaq, no matter if it's Euro, no matter if it's long or short pattern. This is what market all about, wave 3. You jumping on bandwagon at the end of wave 3, you entering into Fibonacci resistance. You start running into serious problems. You start running into brick walls. Here is oil. 1440-minute chart. Chart present in the trading room for months. Chart we will be using tomorrow in the trading room. This is reversal zone. This is pain and torture. Do not acquire position, trend position near this level. If you do buy, you buy as low as possible. By the time you come here, you are in profit. That's simple. This is exactly the reason I named this proprietary level reversal zone. Exit, not enter position here. So if you are utilizing longer term levels, institutional charts, every time I work with institutions and hedge funds, this is a chart we use weekly. This is where bullish rally on oil came from. This is where oil struggled for many months, collapsed back down to reversal zone, tried again, and right now oil in massive correction. Look at that. Both trends are minor. Oil is stuck between crucial support and crucial resistance. Long-term, my bias on oil is absolutely bullish if you choose to hold oil for years. Knowing where to enter, knowing where to take profits off the table remains the key. Oil can dance in this channel for many months. Remember where euro is sitting? Remember where Apple bounced from? What is the difference? Apple did not have this obstacle in front. Oil does. That's the problem with oil. Oil is stuck in correction on weekly. Apple did not have that problem. Apple rallied. Remember that? Plenty of space, quite a range. $20. Finally, Apple blasted through. Bullish rally went on with vengeance. So, all the same formula, traders, when it comes to day trading, when it comes to position trading. Knowing where to enter, knowing where to take profits off the table is the key. Doesn't matter if you're long, doesn't matter if you're short. Acquiring position at the end of wave 3, not an option. And that's the formula that remains the same. This is euro. And that's the key. In this webinar, I cannot teach you what I teach in 8-week course. In this webinar, I just shown you the key, what I teach in class 1 of the course. This is the core, how trend starts. Knowing this is everything. Trading this is the key. If you start buying at the end of wave 3, success is not possible. Market moves in 3-wave formations if trend is minor. This is very classic chart. This is chart on Google. This is as clean as market will ever get. Here the trader became a little lucky, acquiring position at the end of wave 3. Here the trader cut a little bit more of a profit, which happens only in trending markets. So since 2011, I worked with traders from beginner trader to hedge fund trader, teaching this method. Day traders, position traders, hedge fund traders, Forex traders, ETF traders, trading the method from very small accounts to institutional accounts. Students sharing on the website what they trade. Every strategy is proprietary strategy with proprietary Fibonacci levels that has this core rule that I just had shown you. And that's the core of the course. So, the course is 8 weeks, private mentoring 16. Bootcamp is the core of the course. Bootcamp is the event that's playing out only once or twice per year. March 13th through 24th, we're in complete lockdown. Everything is closed. We're down to 9 spaces only. To new February and March students, this is savings of $888 to join in the bootcamp. In the bootcamp, you learn strategies that's not part of the course. You learn how to spend few minutes in front of the computer daily. You master your trading and Fibonacci skills in live trading environment. Psychology, absolutely the core of the course. Psychology, absolutely the core of the bootcamp. Bootcamp is part of 8-week course in group sessions and 16 weeks in private mentoring with annual follow-up. And we start using that same formula that you witnessed now. How to trade and how to identify trend inception only using this key concept. Price for entry and Fibonacci for exits. No software, no indicators of any kind. applies to any market and any time frame. The only difference, trader psychology and account size you trade. Formula remains the same. What you trade is your choice. Once you learn how to identify these rules, you will identify high probability entries, high probability targets, and most importantly, you will know where areas of inherent danger is, what not to enter into. So this is what students call the course, Indicator Detox course. You learn how to trade with independence, you learn how to trade indicator free. You learn that Fibonacci is all that matters. In the class, I take you to the place you've never imagined. As you see each and every day, market preset by Fibonacci puzzle. Fibonacci levels and price is a key. And that remains crucial. So if you ever would like to get in touch with me, pretty please do. info@fibinstitute.com, 925-257-4298. So if you would like to witness the videos of what we accomplish in the trading room, traders, this is a YouTube channel going back years. As you could see on the YouTube channel instantly, videos from the trading room from today, from yesterday. All the recent events I described are present here. You can pull up the YouTube channel on the website. If you come to the website, it's looking at you, YouTube. So, my favorite part of the website, always and forever, where you can listen to students who trade anything and everything, from stocks to Forex to options, from beginner trader to hedge fund trader. Students will be coming to the bootcamp and will be sharing what they trade, how they trade, what works for them, and what they prefer to trade. Every single student has a different story. Every single person has a different account. Every single trader has a different psychology, different circumstances, and chooses what to trade. So, if you have any questions, I highly encourage you. Please review the information on the website and do not hesitate to contact me. So, ladies and gentlemen, pretty please do post questions. What instrument of your choice? This is a strategy that you learn in the course. There is absolutely no black box strategy, absolutely no indicators of any kind. You will learn how to use, how to apply the levels. There is no black box. It's knowledge of price that you master in the course. This is what we start with. This is what you master. If you call this black box, please do. This is what you learn to trade. You're not pushing buttons, nothing is printing you money. You learn how to insert the levels, you learn the strategies, you place your trades. Black box is pushing a button. If you choose to call this black box, that's the first one in 6 years. So, NVIDIA weekly IBCP, beautiful question. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you just post the title of the instrument, you would like to ask me questions, I will gladly show you what I think and where the market is heading to. If you're not posting a time frame next to the instrument, yes, as I mentioned, this is what I show you in the course. This is where you learn the rules, how to apply the levels. Excellent questions. So, Michael, all the costs posted on the website, as you can see, under Learn, as link posted in front of you. So, you learn the levels, you insert the levels on your chart. You learn how to apply the levels. This is not something I can teach in 1 hour webinar. So, this is the information in front of you. 8 weeks, 3277, savings of 888, bootcamp included. Private mentoring, 16-week course. This is the price, savings 888, annual follow-up included. Bootcamp is not happening anytime soon. Bootcamp is not in May, June, not anytime soon, not in April, not coming up, only in March. So, let's go to questions. NVIDIA, excellent question. NVIDIA weekly. So, this is where NVIDIA reversed from last week. We remember that. This is where NVIDIA bouncing from, correct? This is crucial Fibonacci support. I'm sorry, you said weekly. Let me look on weekly. This is daily. On daily chart, crucial support 103. NVIDIA is heading to 115. You are asking about weekly. Again, you can never, ever place random entries, ever. You need to know the rules, the Fibonacci levels I show you. You must know how to trade. So, again, this is NVIDIA weekly, hanging for dear life at crucial Fibonacci resistance. Knowing what to do with your position remains the key. If you had been long NVIDIA, you are in significant profit. This is a place you do not enter near. This is what's happening currently on oil. Remember that? Remember support on euro and support on Apple? How long NVIDIA gonna be stuck here? I don't know. Will it be 5 weeks? Will it be 5 months? This is a key target. Remember on S&P struggled at this level for 6 months? No surprise whatsoever. How long will NVIDIA struggle here? I don't know. All I know, this is a key resistance. S&P 6 months. Taken 6 months to break through this level. Knowing where to take your profits is a key. This is a brick wall. You do not buy near this level. Next question, I see daily. Again, I prefer not to use daily. I prefer to use weekly. Institutions using weekly. Trading with institutions is a key. So, the questions are IBCB. Please, if you're giving me stocks, it's very important that you type in the name correctly. Somebody just corrected the name. Yes, Stapleton, first time it was not correct. So this is where IBCB weekly is right now. This is what you need to pay attention to. IBCB in pain. Bullish rally overextended. This is where you take your profits off the table. You do not buy here. If you're acquiring position here, your success rate 20%. This is where trading becomes gambling. As you could see, price been stuck at this level since 2016, finally blasted through in 2017. So, if you're in significant profit, if you're acquiring position as low as possible, right now you stop outside of break even. IBCB is heading higher. Buying here, however, is a problem, as you can see. Next question, 30-year bond. Excellent question. Bonds on weekly are stunning. If you're trading bonds, you're a brilliant trader. More than likely, you either don't like to sleep or you are in Asia. Bill Gross still starts his workday 2 o'clock in the morning in California. So here's Bonds Hourly. Bonds Hourly is a beautiful ranging market. So this is Bonds Hourly, traders. This is where bonds are right now. Good for you. You must love bonds so much. Bill Gross certainly adores it. That's when life becomes magic. Billionaire who wakes up to work 2 o'clock in the morning. Show you. Life is magic if you love what you do. So, this is where bonds right now. At key Fibonacci target. Bonds are heading here. This is your huge Fibonacci support. You're witnessing what happened first time price come to this level. You see that? In the course you learn to use this level as key Fibonacci target. Absolutely crucial. Bonds are heading to reversal zone. As you're witnessing again, as you saw on the previous stock, this is not the place where you buy, this is a place where you exit. So, knowing where to enter is a key. Right now, this is your support, this is your resistance. Bonds buyers are bullish. Bonds are heading higher. So, any other questions, traders? Pretty please do ask. So the question about Forex, excellent question. Any other questions about stocks or futures before we go to Forex, please? Okie dokie. So here is pound yen. So this is where a rally on pound yen came from. Is everybody clear on that? The power of reversal zone? And this is where pound yen in excruciating pain on pound weekly. So bullish rally overextended. It's a wise idea to take the profits off the table. And again, do you see this chop, these two levels? Exact same thing as you saw on bonds hourly. Crucial to respect this is a support, this is a resistance. You know the rules, your point of entry as low as possible. Next question, Facebook Weekly. Facebook Weekly is a beautiful thing, just broke through historical highs. Lovely. So, this is where Facebook is heading to next. Key target on Facebook will be 138.30. As long as this Fibonacci support is respected, Facebook is heading higher. This is the key Fibonacci resistance. This is your support, this support is respected, Facebook is heading higher. And that's the key. Next question, WGO. A lot of stock traders, fantastic. WGO weekly does not look as beautiful as Facebook. Let me look on monthly. What is WGO, please? Never heard of that. So this is WGO on weekly. As I constantly warn you, if you start buying at reversal zone, you start running into pain and torture. This is where you take profits off the table. This is not where you buy. If you buy here, your success rate 20%. This is one of my favorite screenshots, and this is picture perfect reminder why buying into reversal zone not an option. If you know anything about the world of investment, remember Valiant, the darling of Wall Street, where top hedge funds in America were buying into reversal zone? Since I made an announcement that Valiant will be going into free fall, Valiant collapsed another 86%. And that's what price does every time. You learn Fibonacci levels, you apply it to any instrument you choose. Doesn't matter if it's WGO, doesn't matter if it's Facebook, doesn't matter if it's pound yen or Apple or euro. What you trade is your choice. Two more questions, traders. And if you have any other questions, please do ask. XCC weekly in free fall. Let me show you where selling pressure is coming from. As once again, this is the reason you always must exit your trade when price comes to reversal zone. This is the example. So, bias always is bearish. This is your exit unless you will monitor for short. You know the rules for short. You can short the market. XEC heading to here, 120. What to do at 120? You must know the rules for. That remains the key. So let me move this chart to hourly as you're asking about hourly. And if you have any other questions, pretty please do ask. Hourly still firmly bearish. This is hourly. This is your day trading chart if you're trading XEC hourly. This is picture perfect reminder. Never ever 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 acquire position into reversal zone. Monitor for short. So, and as you could see, XCC reminding you, this is Fibonacci resistance. Do not buy into it. Price will collapse to reversal zone. You can monitor to buy. So let's take a look where XEC is now. Excellent question. So, XCC is heading to 127. And as I said on weekly, even lower. So buying randomly at reversal zone, not an option. You must know the rules. This is where XCC is heading to here. No reason to acquire long whatsoever. Sellers are simply tired. So here's a chart on gold weekly. Excellent question. The fund I work with had been long on gold weekly from this Fibonacci support since month of December 2016. So hopefully these hedge fund traders will be in bootcamp, will be sharing how they trade, where they invest. So this is where they acquired bullish point of entry. This is when I started working with them at this level. Right now they're in significant profit. Right now gold in excruciating pain. Buying right now, worst idea ever. Last year, if you browse social media, if you browse all the articles and posts on my blog and Facebook and everywhere, this is where first bullish rally started. This is where it ended. This is where I said last year on February 2nd. Here we go. Remember when gold was at 1128? February 2nd last year? When I said it's heading to 1300? Can you do it with your indicators? Fibonacci is the only predictive tool, traders. Everything else is delayed. Spending your time on everything else that's delayed is simply waste of time, in my humble opinion. So, if you decide to join us in the course, I highly encourage you, please review everything on the website. Fibonacci Trading Bootcamp is always favorite time of the year as graduates of the course coming back to learn additional strategy and to master their trading skills. In the course you receive online modules, live classes, key classes Monday and Friday, strategy classes Monday, long-term Fibonacci levels Friday. We meet with students every single morning pre-market. Money management, trader psychology is the key. In private mentoring, I concentrate on the instrument of your choice. If you are on Ninja Trader, I set up everything for you on Ninja Trader. If you are not, we still work on your platform, on the instrument of your choice, and we go back and forth between your and my computer. TeamViewer for screen sharing, Skype for sound. You have access to all group sessions during 16 weeks. So, any other questions, traders? Pretty please do ask. If no other questions, pretty please do monitor your inbox for newsletter tomorrow morning that will have latest videos from the trading room. Please do monitor your inbox for trading room invitation Monday morning, which you can use the entire next week. Any other questions? Please do ask. I'm trying to see. Here we go, traders. I have the links for you. Here's the links for the trading room for the next week. If you would like to email me, I will gladly give it to you, but you will receive for next week, and this is a link you can use logging in starting on Monday. So, I thank you so much for your time. Please do not hesitate to contact me. Have a joy-filled afternoon, and if you would like to sign up on the website and attend the trading room and to witness the accuracy of the method, please do. Otherwise, pretty please do monitor your inbox. On Monday, you will receive the invitation for the next week. If you decided to join us in the course, sooner you sign up, more prepared for the bootcamp you will be. So thank you traders, thank you so much. Have a joy-filled afternoon. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.